Now to the gay scandal that's rocked the New South Wales government. One of its most senior ministers has been forced to resign after he used a taxpayer-funded car to visit a gay sex club.
Well, joining us now is 7 News reporter Adam Walters, who broke the story, and reporter Pippa Gardner, who is in the minister's electorate. Adam, first to you, just backtrack for us on how this story developed.
Well, Mel, as you know, as a journalist, you receive a lot of information, a lot of tips. Most of the time that turns out to be completely ill-founded. On this occasion, though, what we heard accorded with speculation that had been persisting for years around New South Wales Parliament about the alleged double life of David Campbell. On Tuesday, our producer Steve Barrett and myself set out to see whether this was fact or fiction. By midnight Tuesday, we had established that we did indeed have a big story.
Adam, Mr Campbell is entitled to a private life. Was this story purely about the alleged misuse of his car?
Not just that, David. This is a question of integrity, honesty and deception, issues all addressed and acknowledged by Mr Campbell himself when he apologised yesterday upon his resignation for letting his family, friends and colleagues down. Also acknowledged by Christina Keneally, who accepted his resignation without hesitation. Of course, politicians are entitled to their private life, but when they have two lives, as revealed in this case, it demands scrutiny and it's attention that we afforded it.
Pippa, has there been any sign of Mr Campbell this morning? You're in his electorate.
No, there's been no sign of Mr Campbell since he arrived here to his home in Wollongong at around 8 p.m. last night. No doubt he's in crisis mode. His top priority to explain his actions to his family, particularly his wife Edna, who we know has been seriously ill. If Mr Campbell's had any sleep at all, the headlines he'll be waking up to this morning, the front page of the Illawarra Mercury, I'm sorry, with a photograph there of Mr Campbell and his head bowed. People we've spoken to this morning are absolutely shocked. Mr Campbell has been a leader in this community for more than 30 years. He's a man who campaigned on family values. People can't believe that he was living a double life.
Yeah, Adam, he has led a double life. Let me play devil's advocate here. Yes, he's, should apologise to his family. There's no doubt about that. But is it a hanging offence? People make mistakes. To be polite, you're involved in a similar situation when you worked at State Parliament with a minister and things like that. Private things happen. So, should they have to resign? Yes, they've got a lot of explaining to do to their family, but shouldn't it be left at that?
Well, it's a matter for him. He could have stayed on. He has indicated he will be remaining the member for Kira, but within 2 hours of approaching Mr Campbell yesterday, he offered the Premier his resignation. There's a lot more to this story, David. It will unfold as time continues. We're not in a position now to disclose what other information we have, but the fact of the matter here is, and Pippa touched on it, there is a deception involved here. Mr Campbell has lived the life of a family man in Wollongong. He's campaigned on those values. He's used a taxpayer-funded ministerial limousine to drive into the Premier's electorate and engage in what can only be described as reckless and risky behaviour. A former police minister, a former member of the New South Wales Crime Commission Board, exposing himself to strangers and surveillance cameras within this establishment.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Yep. All right, a lot more to come, mate. Keep us up to date with that. Thanks for your time this morning.
Cheers, David.
And thank you, Pippa.